Cash or trash, Joe Espada is exposing so much of Jose Abreu to the lineup, not pinch hitting for him in critical spots like yesterday in the ninth inning, because he is sending a direct message to the front office. This guy is terrible. Let me show you how terrible he is by playing him most every day, not pinch hitting for him in the ninth inning, so I can deliver a message without words to Jeff Bagwell that this guy does not belong on this baseball team.
I'm going to trash it.
Is he sending a message to the front office by exposing us to a ton of Jose Abreu and in suboptimal spots late in games?
I like it, but I'm going to trash it because I think the opposite in terms of how it's all going down behind the scenes. I think that he knows and is basically against the fact that Abreu is in the lineup, but he's being told from above that he has to play him, and he's being a good soldier and a good camper and doing what the powers that be tell him because he's in his first year and he got this opportunity because of them, so he's not going to rock the boat. When I like your option a whole hell of a lot more, and I'd have a whole lot more respect for Joe Espada than what I think, but what I think is he's just the puppet.
I think it's one of those two things. I think it's one of those two things, and I wouldn't rule out either one of them. Nikolai said that's giving him too much credit to Espada. Now we see this in sports. Now a first-year manager, does he feel he has the clout to do this? That would throw a little bit of a wrench into this equation. But we see managers, coaches send messages to the front office with playing time all the time. Let's send a message upstairs. Let's use this guy in this spot.
Dusty did it all the time.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably, especially like in center field.
When he and Click were butting heads, he did it all the time.
Yeah. So the Cash or Trash 713-780 ESPN. I definitely think it's one of our two theories. Mm-hmm. It's definitely Jeff Bagwell and Crane and front office. Hey, let's give this guy all these at bats. That way we can collect information, collect data, and then make a decision in 2 to 3 weeks if he should still be on this roster. Or it's like, okay, not that you're throwing the game, but you're like, you're going to force this guy on my team whenever he's not very good, and he kills positional flexibility. We have better options that can play over there, and it's, hey, you're going to stick it to me, I'm going to stick it to you. Instead of using Joey Loperfido in the ninth inning, which is, Loperfido has a very slow chance to get a hit there too. Is it greater than Jose Abreu? Yes. The right move there is Loperfido to pinch hit for Abreu against a tough righty. Why didn't he do it? It's one of our two theories. Either it's Joe Espada sticking it to the man, sticking it to the suits, although Bagwell's not wearing suits. He's sticking it to Jeff Bagwell, or it's the opposite where they're telling him, hey,
he's being a good soldier, doing what he's told, being a good camper. They gave him the opportunity. He hasn't earned his stripes enough to put his foot down and say no like Dusty did, so he's going along with it. It's probably one of the two, but it's sad that we're having this conversation and a guy that was hired to do a job. I think either way, I just don't think he's ever going to be able here to be a guy that just does what he feels.
Yeah, you might be right. 6941, yep, he's being told to play Abreu. The 7775 says, yes, I bet on the WNBA. Astros Observer, Cash so hard, especially all these reports about Crane being a control freak. Okay, so that could go either way. Like, if Crane is the control freak, it's him going at Espada and telling him, but Espada could be like, well, screw you. Here's what I'm going to do. Texan Cash, but I think Espada is setting himself up to be a one-and-done manager. Yeah, I mean, if he Jim Crane is not scared to get rid of people. I mean, he got rid of Jeff Luhnow and AJ Hinch, yes, after the sign stealing stuff, but also the most dominant head coach or the most dominant general manager combination in Astros history to that point. He also moved on from James Click after he literally won the World Series. Would he be, hesitant to get rid of Espada after an 81 season after year one? I don't think so.
No, not at all. But I think that he's in a no-win situation except for finances. Whatever he got paid, hopefully he got a lot, because he is going to be labeled coming out of this as a failure as a manager. So it's going to be on him when he tries to get his next job. And no matter what he says or does, he's going to have a whole lot of splaining to do to try and get his next gig. But while he's doing this gig, no matter what he does to appease the people above him, or whoever is saying for the day that they have input on the decisions, he's not getting any credit for the successes. He's getting drilled for all of the failures. And at the same time, we don't even know if he's making the actual decisions. So how can he win?
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of examples that he doesn't have much say. Like, even Dana Brown, like, he's in control of the lineup. Well, you think he's penciling Jose Abreu into the lineup every day? If he is, he's doing it as a, hey, middle finger to these guys. We've heard Dana Brown go on other stations in the city and say lineup changes before they actually happen, which never happened with Dusty Baker. So, yeah, I mean, you even had Joe Espada talk to the media in Anaheim over the weekend. Yeah, Joey Loperfido has more time to play. Like, there's more opportunity to play. Oh, Joey Loperfido is no longer on this baseball roster, potentially.
Right.
That news hasn't been made official. That's just Ari Alexander reporting that, but he's usually right. So, yeah, I'm not sure how much power Espada has anyways.
No, I think it's...
No, he would have power in the in-game. I mean, nobody's telling him what to do in-game. They might be telling him before the meeting, like before the game, but you're talking about a pinch hit situation in the ninth? Like, that's Espada.
Right, but I also think that there might have been, in that pregame meeting, stipulations put into play for late-game scenarios,
Sure.
too, and also being very adamant about the fact that do not think about pinch hitting for him, and especially pinch hitting for a guy that could be his replacement in Loperfido. They're going to sit there and tell him, it maybe in a pregame meeting, that you are going to play him, and that's it. Force feed him, no matter what the scenario is.
Yeah, that actually should be something that they're talking about in the pregame, series.
Because of
pre-series
matchups,
meeting.
because of all those things.
And even if you're giving Espada the ultimate say, which we're questioning here, but those are conversations that should be had pre-series. Okay, let's get together. Let's talk to the analytical team. Let's bring in Dana Brown. Let's bring in Joe Espada. Okay, here's what we're thinking here. Late game situation against these relievers. These were the options that we like. Now, how in the world is Abreu the option there over Loperfido? Like, and who's the one delivering the message? That's where the hang-up is here.
Well, that's where it is that he's starting, and that's it. He's not coming out.
But he has. They've used him. They've pinch hit Singleton a time or two.
Yeah, they have, but more times than not, it's just like, if anything, it'll be a pinch run situation late in the game because it's only going to last an inning or two anyway. But yeah, he's pinch hit a couple times with Singleton, but for the most part, it could be just that's the mandate coming down for the series is if you start him, you're playing him. That's it.